Okay, good morning. We are on a brand new project over here on Lake Washington here in Seattle on the east side. This is a big old mansion built in 1910, I believe is what I understand. So we're going to go in and take a look around at what we got going on. Charles is already underway in there doing some work. It's an old top nailed floor, so let's take a look. Okay, so we started on this project yesterday. So Charles already has this room rough sanded. He's setting the nails to do the filling. We have our plastic up, but let's just take a look around at what's going on here. So this floor for 1910 is absolutely beautiful. It's a nice white oak top nailed floor. Charles is setting the nails over there. You can just take a look at the architecture here. It's so beautiful. All the ornate drawings and those sconces probably had candles in them back in the day. So we are sanding. This is the main living room area. We're coming into the formal dining room with this beautiful mahogany wainscot, all this ribbon grain mahogany doors, butler doors. These nice credenzas built over the radiator heaters with turn spindles. It's a beautiful home. The coffered ceilings with crowned ornate designs in those. So we are refinishing these floors. Down through the living room. We are refinishing these floors into the library. So the back part of the house and the upstairs are going to be a different project. So this is the library. And you can just take a look out at the grounds and the view of Lake Washington. So it's a little bit of a cloudy day today. There's a little overcast going on, but yesterday the view here was absolutely beautiful. So we're going to crank up this sander and get going. Okay, Charles is done setting the nails inside the living room here. He's vacuuming it out, getting ready to fill this floor. And I have this room all roughed in the dining area. Charles is going to come in here, edge, set, and fill this one. Okay, let's step into this formal dining room. And we are going to start grinding away on this old finish. These floors are in really nice shape. There's a little water damage right there at these French doors. This takes a lot of weather, but they're sanding up pretty nicely. It's not enough to warrant a repair.
Stagnant for a while, a bitter life stuck in denial. A path less traveled lies ahead, the fear of failure we all dread. Lives crashing down on us like a wave. I won't do this for another day. Harder said than done, one change is better than none. I don't need your guide. This is my life. I fade away from my own fate. I walk the line in my desire. I breathe the air of your despair. To take one step, gaining progress. Can't let bullshit get in the way. Can't dwell too much on yesterday. The past is dead, that's what they say. Leave it buried in its rightful grave. Obstacles will surely play their role. What's the point of this if there's no goal? Harder said than done. One change is better than none. I don't
nice. Okay, good morning everybody. We're back over here on Lake Washington. This floor is all rough sanded, filled. We are going to, Charles is over there doing a little spot filling on some of the nail holes where the putty has shrunk down. And I'm going to crawl underneath these radiator heaters and try to scrape them out a little bit. Take a look at what we got going on. Okay, so these are the radiator heaters with these nice little covers on them. We're in the library here. I'm going to start on this one here. I'm going to go up underneath this one. Now we're not going all the way up underneath. We're just going to feather our finish up under there because we're not taking these all apart. There's Charles. He's doing his little puttying on a couple of those shrunk ones. These particular ones, and these are solid cast iron by the way, so when they get warm, it maintains a nice level of heat. But we're going to blend that finish underneath there without going all the way up under there. We're doing the same color stain, so we should be okay. And these ones here, these really nice ones in the library, we're going to go up underneath those and blend it in. So you won't see it all, but we're not going to try to get all the way up underneath there. So that's what we're doing today. And there you have it. Sanded, prepped, 120. Now we'll pop the grain, stain it, and finish coat that. It'll be beautiful. Okay, so that is how we sand underneath one of those radiator heaters. Just look at those credenzas. Those things are a work of art all in themselves. We do a little scraping around those feet and it'll be really nice. Okay, Charles getting ready to run this edger here. So we're starting in on the 120. You can see up along that shoe molding all the way around. Taking it out is one way to do it, but sometimes you create more problems doing that. So he stays away from it. On his first cut was 60. Now on the 100, we'll cut in real close to that. Little corner action. All that nice detail work Charles is doing there. Very nice. Okay, good morning. We are back here on the lake. I'm gonna do a little walk around just to show you the parts of this house we're working on. Do a little walk of the grounds here because this place is pretty spectacular. It's actually in the neighborhood of Kurt Cobain. His park is in the neighborhood here, the park where he sits on a little bench, and I'll go up there and take a look at that in a minute. So let's just take a look around. So you can see this is a pretty spectacular old house. And here's the back, a little walking path. All this old concrete, ornate concrete, and borders and all the tile work. It's fall right now and everything's kind of put away for the most part. But the landscaping here is absolutely beautiful. You have these nice ornate sidewalks and all this concrete work that goes out to the landscaping. These beautiful little maple trees here. Look at that. You know, you just don't see this stuff very much anymore. That's a little wash basin right there. We come down these staircases. And of course, none of this is operational right now. This house is needing a little bit of upgrades and some work, but you can see in its glorious days, it was quite spectacular. It's like a Roman spa. We have our little seats that come around here to a little swimming pool, and that was a waterfall that ran down into the pool. To another staircase. And a little perfectly manicured lawn. Look at that. Right onto your own private dock with your own private boat, your own beach. That is pretty spectacular. So walking back up the hill, the grounds here are just so nice. You can see the house tucked away up there on the hill. You can just see the little waterfall trickling down here. And there's a complete back view of this gorgeous old house. And here we are at the famous little Kurt Cobain little park where he sat and probably smoked a bunch of doobies up here on this bench. So this is a very well-traveled area. A lot of people come up here and smoke a little grass, hang out, and check it on out. Well, that's the famous Kurt Cobain bench. And over there in the distance, can't see it very good from here, but that's the house he lived in right there. Right next door to the little park. He used to walk over here and hang out. So yeah, that's the famous little Kurt bench right there. You know, he would have been 55 now if he hadn't, whatever happened to him at 27 years old. I don't know if I buy the official story. When you get to that level, I don't really believe much of anything I hear, but there's the bench. We're gonna get back to work. Okay, this morning we are going to buff this floor out. Charles is over there scraping corners. We're going to clean this and pop the grain this morning. So I got the buffer all set up. Charles is over here finishing up the scraping of the corners. All that fine little detail work that he is so good at. I'm going to crank this buffer up right here. Okay, so we're going to start the water popping process on this. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take a rag, get it wet, and wipe underneath these radiator heaters.
There's always a crazy guy, you know?
Well, this thing's all popped. We're gonna let this dry and come back in the morning and put a stain down, golden brown on this floor. Okay, good morning. We are here, it's Friday morning. We are gonna put this coat of stain down today. So let's just take a quick look around. You can see how beautiful these could be finished in a natural. They became so clean. They could be finished in natural, but we're gonna bring it back to the original golden brown stain. So we're gonna start back in this room and get going. Okay, so that finishes the stain coat. We'll be back Monday morning to put down the first coat. Let's take a look. Look at that beautiful golden brown floor. It's gonna look so nice. We have the shades closed so we don't put sun on the floor. Let's just take a look around at the stain. So there's the stain on that floor. Charles is gonna start in the dining room. And I'm gonna start over here in the library, and we're gonna get our first coat down today. There you have it, folks. That's the first coat on this floor. Charles is finishing up the last couple of strokes on it, and we will be out of here until Monday morning. Look at that floor. We're going to put a nice satin on here so it's not going to be real shiny like this. Charles is pulling out right now. Okay, good morning. We are back on the project. It's Monday morning over here on the lake. Let's just take a look around. We're going to give this thing the intercoat abrasion today, clean it all up, tack it, and put down 2 coats of that glorious Bona Traffic. So you can see the color of this floor is looking so good. Nice, uniform, stain. Such a nice looking old floor. We're gonna get to sanding and buffing and cleaning this floor up. So Charles is well underway here, sanding the corners, edges, scraping it out. You can see he has this all prepped around this room. I'm gonna bring the buffer, get started on it. So if you're watching these videos and trying to learn how to do your own floors, when we're doing this intercoat abrasion in between coats here, we're using a really dull 120 grit. It's about a 320 grit sandpaper if you were doing it with sandpaper. But we use one of our screens that we use for our final cut in sanding, but it's really dull and really used. So we're just breaking the fuzz off the top of that first coat. Little cleanup action. Little wiper downer action. So we're getting ready to put down this first coat, and this particular morning, this project is like the perfect storm. We have a little overcast, so the sun's not coming in the windows very bad. It's a cool morning. It's only about 65 degrees out here. This house has really nice shades on all the windows to protect from any ultraviolet getting in on the finish while we're laying it down. So Charles is gonna finish wiping this floor down, and I am gonna go get some finish ready. Okay, the strategy here. I'm starting in the library here. Same as we did the first coat. Charles is gonna start over there in the dining room. We're both gonna work our way out of there, and then we're gonna start on this leading wall here and work our way right up that big step out into the end. Okay, Charles is pulling the last couple strokes out of here. You can see how nice and uniform that floor is. He's got to pull that and that little bit down there, and we'll be back later to do another coat. Okay, we are back on this project on the lake to do our final walkthrough. So let's just take a look at this floor and this beautiful home in the areas that we worked on after doing this refinishing process. So let's just take a look. So here is the living room floor. Look at that. This house was built in 1910. Apparently they started it in 1900, so it took 10 years to build. So this is the original top-nailed white oak floor, and you can see how beautiful these floors turned out after all the 112 years old. I mean, it doesn't get much better. You can see the little spots there, but they're all cleaned up. Look at these radiator heaters. These are all cast iron, so it retains the heat. You've got your original French doors here, looking out at the lake, with your wall sconces, your ornate designs with the shield and the lions above that wide open fireplace. Just beautiful with these design gussets. Come through this little arched companionway here, and you have these little lighted accents as you take the little step up the tile with the ornate tile risers into the library. And you can see this beautiful fireplace right in the library here with all the books. These people are both surgeons. One of them's an orthopedic surgeon, and the other one is a plastic surgeon. So they have all their medical journals and books up there for that. Look at that coffered ceiling with the nice little knee braces, and it's all painted really nice. So we'll come across over here and you can see where the blend is. This is where we blended the refinish work into the old floor. So you can see the color match is pretty good into the original type flooring. So there's the library with your radiant heaters, one underneath that little bench there and one over there. You get your beautiful little wall sconces and all the original windows and lookouts. Let's just take a look out this little window for a second. Look at that nice little window. Such a nice little lookout. There's even a boat going by. Beautiful. Okay, let's take a walk over into this dining room, which I find absolutely beautiful. You see we have our little two-steppers here, all tile with a nice mahogany trim on the base. So we step into the formal dining room here with these nice ribbon grain mahogany doors. You have the mahogany wainscot all the way down, carved rope accents around the doors. And again, we have another coffered ceiling, but this one has ornate carved designs and it's actually crowned up inside there. A nice little chandelier. The homeowner put that chandelier in. It kind of mimics the original one. He mounted that somewhere else in the house and he wanted a bigger one in here, so that's what he got. But I love these credenzas. These are one of my favorite parts of the whole house right here, is these beautiful wood credenzas with the spindles. They're just so nice. This is really a spectacular room right here, a work of art. Okay, that's gonna conclude this video. If you see anything you like, hit that subscribe button and thanks for watching.